Anybody gonna be late, they just be late.
Oh, well, she got kids though, right?
And so do I, so do you, so do Shan.
Well, no, Gregory, you know how that is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me know, G.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Want to welcome everyone to Sports Fed Talk on GLX Sports. I am your humble host, Big G.
And I am Raider Mike. We're gonna get back in that mode right now.
Hey, what's up? This is Big Shan up in the house once again.
It's your boy, the Young Ark.
Okay. I see Raider 19. She chiming in a little later than the rest of us, but she about to get down.
Man,
Okay.
my bad. It's technical difficulties. What's up?
It's all good.
good.
It's all good. You can go ahead. You can go ahead and make your introduction.
All right. Raider lady in the house, ready to get into it. This weekend sports. Let's get it.
Yes, indeed. We're gonna start off with you and Raider Mike's favorite subject. We're gonna hop right on in. Get to
That's
the
my favorite subject.
Lakers. They got
Lakers.
eliminated from the playoffs. You know, there's everybody got an opinion on it, and you know, I want to hear what the Lakers fans got to say. We're gonna start off. You know, we're
There's
gonna let
only
the
one
ladies
Laker
go.
fan here, maybe, or maybe two.
Oh, no. Raider Lady 19. We're gonna let the ladies go first. We'll let you start it off.
All
I know
right.
you got a lot to say on it.
Man, yeah. This was a clear example of, man, you caught me off guard. I wasn't ready. But no, this is what it was. This is what happened with this squad. This squad just got exposed, not only for being old, everybody said they were old, but it was the nonchalantness. You really got to see the mentality of people like LeBron, for real, as good as he played, for his Anthony Davis, Mr. Glass,
Yeah.
you know, you really got to see what happens when you do give someone too much leverage. If Magic is correct on the deals that were nixed in favor of what they preferred over what was best for the actual team,
Yep.
then that was a prime example of what you don't do, and somebody who only is about themselves. That's a real selfish act, real talk, because it was to the detriment of an entire situation. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you want Raider Mike?
Yeah, well, you know, this is just a prime example of called falling on your face. You know, and that right there, that was strictly on. I mean, I'm gonna tell you who got to take ownership on this whole thing, because he was the GM, the coach, and the player. He was all three, like the gangster, the dealer, and the dope dealer. You know, the gangster, the killer, and the dope dealer. You know, the Ice Cube song, The West Side Connection.
Yes.
Okay. LeBron, I mean, I love LeBron. He was a great basketball player. He had a great season, but we failed because the chemistry wasn't there. And I thought old butter could make good, you know, like good cake. Like the late Charles Bailey said that old butter made good cake. Well, this butter was too old and it was sour. You know, and then we have, you know, like I said, Anthony Davis, you know, the man couldn't stay healthy to save his life. I mean, I'm sorry, it's something wrong with them bones. He got them brittle bones. I don't know if you can grow 7 inches or whatever from whatever he grew when he was in high school, like 6'3", now the fool's 6'10" or 6, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. He needs to start doing some yoga. He needs to really do some yoga, eat some sunflower seeds for the game, do something. This fool is always something. It's a groin, a knee. But the Lakers' problems was because they didn't let Magic Johnson build that team the way he had it built, and they started getting desperate and they wanted to win championships. So Magic had to trade Ingram, he had to trade Ball, he had to trade Julius Randle. He had to trade players that he didn't want to trade. And I just felt that we should have got our butts kicked for those couple of years. And right now, we'd be in the playoffs right now with that young team. And we could have had Anthony Davis come in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking on LeBron, who was our best player this year. I mean, you know, he might go down to be the greatest player of all time. And I'm not just saying that to be saying it. Don't care what they talking about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is a great player. They could say that all they want. LeBron could play all these positions and big as he is, fast as he is, strong as he is, and 37 still doing it, but it didn't work for us.
Yeah.
So I don't know where we go from here. Do we need to break this team up, or shall LeBron just bow down and just be the player and let the coach, let the GM do his part, and let Russell Westbrook, like I said, everybody giving him all the flack, but no, they knew he was a ball dominant guard. So why LeBron could have been on the block and played his regular position and let this man run the offense and he could have facilitate the ball to the number one option was Davis, then LeBron, then himself, and then get everybody else involved. This is why we failed. And that's just
something.
But
I'm
that's
gonna put a little something on Frank Vogel too. Frank Vogel.
Yeah, but he's a puppet. He's not a coach. LeBron's the coach.
I understand that, but
LeBron's hand is in his back.
You
LeBron's
have to
hand
use
is
strategy.
in his back.
You mean you have to place your personnel strength.
Right.
Russell is
He's
the
a
ball
ball
up,
dominant guard.
and he pushes the ball. So how could you not have these guys like a track meet running
the ball, and like the Lakers,
I've never seen nothing like that.
They needed to run the ball, and they used to let him have the ball. I don't care. He ain't got to shoot no jumpers. His job is not to shoot the jumpers.
I've never seen them just jog the entire time.
Right.
Fast breaks, they were probably dead last.
Well, they probably old. Well, we
and it ain't because you old, because you can run the floor at 35.
They can run the floor. They can run the floor, but
you have to want to. That's called want to.
All right, you know, I love all this Lakers back and
forth. But that's it.
Let me ask you this. How would you like to have KCP, Kyle Kuzma, and Montrezl Harrell still on your team without having Anthony Davis? Would you take that or no?
No,
I'm just asking. Yes or no? Would you take that?
No, I'll take Anthony Davis.
Okay. How about would you like to have Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, and 3 first-round picks? Excuse me, that was for Davis. The other one was for Westbrook.
Right.
That's a whole lot of talent that went out the door for only 2 people.
My thing is this: I wanted development. I didn't care about winning the chip right now because we was gonna win more by developing that talent. Look how Alonzo Ball is balling. They gave him.
But if you look at the Lakers,
I would not have moved for Russell Westbrook. You don't make that move.
No, they shouldn't have, because he's $44 million on the cap.
You don't make it. It makes no sense.
Why do you do that? It makes
no basketball sense. Now, if you want to get rid of Harold to go get maybe a piece or two, maybe go get a shooter, somebody who can actually shoot. The Lakers haven't had a shooter since Glenn Rice. No cap.
Rice,
a real pure shooter.
Yeah,
since Glenn Rice. So I would have moved Harold to get a piece.
Or Robert Lee.
Shit. You keep Kuzma and you keep KCP.
They should have just kept the team the way it was, but
you're supposed to run it back from the bubble. I still don't even understand that. Real 100. How you don't run it back from the bubble?
They could have just kept the same team. We'd have been fine.
I rest my case, though.
We were running with this. Gee, what you got, architect? What do you think about this, man?
When this all first happened, I was like, this reminded me of that 04 team when they lost to the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, and people can blame LeBron, Russell, Anthony Davis being hurt, all that. I honestly think it's because they don't have a strong head coach. If you look at Frank Vogel's history, he's never been that like get on you type of guy. And first off, you have LeBron James and Russell Westbrook, 2 major alpha males. Anthony Davis, who is an alpha male in his own right, because you see what he did in New Orleans. He's not a bad player. Yes, he's been injured, but even in the bubble, you know what I'm saying, he had clutch moments, stuff like that for the team. But then you bring in a Frank Vogel who's more of a soft-spoken, laid-back, like he doesn't seem like he takes charge kind of guy. That's not the type of guy you need running that type of team. And then you add on a Melo, you know what I'm saying, Dwight Howard, all these people who were stars at one point, you know what I'm saying? And granted, they still have their voice. They're all everybody I just named is going to be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, you need somebody that's going to push them to be great. because they were too lackadaisical. You know what I'm saying? I think all in all, I think it could have worked even with Anthony Davis being injured and whatnot, because I even still think with that his injury, him being injury prone as is, I think a more fitting coach would have known how to handle that. I think it all starts at the top, and then at that too. I think Rob Pelinka is a terrible GM. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think those two, they gotta go. I think it could have worked, but going forward, hey man, it's nice to see the Lakers lose. I'm not gonna lie, because I got as a Warrior fan,
you
I got
probably
tired.
Like it and enjoy it.
You know what I'm saying? But I think I don't think this is diminish LeBron's legacy or anything, because I mean, shit, he had arguably one of his best seasons scoring wise.
To.
But I don't know. We'll see going forward what their moves are in the offseason. I'm curious to see if they keep Russ. I'm curious to see what they really do with Anthony Davis.
That's
even though he's
million.
young, I'm curious to see what they do with him.
They can't get rid of him.
Russ already said he taking that option. He not opting out.
No, they need
of course, because ain't nobody else gonna give him that money.
No, ain't nobody finna give him $44 million. But you know what? Well, Anthony Davis is another glassback Tony Romo. Remember how I was called Tony Romo glassback? That fool got a glass knee, glass back, glass hamstring, everything.
All right, Shane, what you got on it, man?
I mean, it's like all of the above, what everybody's saying, but like to Architect's point, man, like if it ain't working, like I think Vogel was just like, okay, well, we won last year, so LeBron, you got influence and whatnot, I'll listen, but if
they didn't win last year.
I mean, when they went in the bubble, but if it ain't working, you got to pump the brakes and be like, nah, we need to change this up, man. We need to change this up dramatically, man. I mean, because LeBron, he was kind of slowing up on defense, you know what I mean, saving his strength for offense and whatnot. But so let Westbrook run the ball. Do something different, man. Anything, like all those players, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, is like young Architect's point. There's too many alpha males in the coach's ear, and you got to be one of those coaches that's like, shut the hell up, man. I'm running this team before I bench you.
They need Tyronn Lue.
About to say, Ty Lue over there.
Ty Lue told LeBron.
They need Mark Jackson.
He told LeBron during that Warriors championship, shut the fuck up. I run this mother.
Right. Yeah. But even Mark Jackson, though, would have had a better handle on the situation. Man. Right. You know what I mean? And to Lady Raider's point, you got to
play what it is. Anthony Davis went Hollywood too. He went Hollywood too. AD went Hollywood, and I mean Hollywood in the sense of, he for sure. He went Hollywood. It's something that happens a lot when particular people come to the Lakers. Either they lose their shot, they lose their ability to actually shoot in a purple and gold uniform. I've seen it so many times from Jeff Blake. Man, can't even shoot. Look at Wesley Matthews last year couldn't hit the side of a barn. Like,
hey, don't forget about Dwight Howard's little sideline antics, though, man. That was adding to the little mix, right? Because him and Davis got into it, so it was just all bad over there.
He did. He quieted the doubters. He wanted title. He was like, I'm validated. I got the monkey off my back. He got paid $200 million. He got married, and he came in a little heavier. And his shot is he has no touch. Where's the shot? He ain't made a three constantly since that season in the bubble. Can't even shoot no more. Hollywood.
Man, came in hot on these Lakers, huh?
He needs to go back to he need to go to the 5 and stop being soft.
I see. So let's see where we want to go from there, man. I need to slow y'all down a little bit, y'all. Let's see.
Hey,
let's roll over to this.
40 said it's all bad. It's all bad.
We're gonna roll over to something else that's all bad. We got 2 more coaches join the class action lawsuit versus the NFL. My man Ray Horton and Steve Wilkes.
Steve Wilkes, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll lead us off on this one. Ray Horton, he had an interview with the Titans in 2016. You know what I'm saying? But Mike Mularkey recently let loose the fact that he already knew he had the job before he went in for an interview, anything, to go through anything with the process. And Ray Horton, of course, he did his interview after that. And Malarkey knew that he had the job already. You know what I mean? So sham interview. You know what I mean? The man that never had a chance, just pacifying the Rooney Rule. And then you go to Steve Wilkes. His is more circumstantial. You know what I'm saying? Even though they said the Cardinals did set him up to fail out there. He only coached him for 1 year. You know, he wanted to draft Josh Allen. He wanted to move up and draft Josh Allen. But the GM, what's his name? Steve Keim was like, no, I think we'll take Josh Rosen out of UCLA. That should be a good choice. And Josh Rosen no longer is even in the damn league, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, he's
That
for
dude-
Atlanta last year. He played for Atlanta last year.
Oh, you saw him play?
Mm-hmm. Threw a pick, took him out.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, man, I know there was a whatchamacallit. I think, was he out the league for like a year or some time?
Nah, he was
Because I
still on
remember,
somebody's team,
Wow.
man. You know, come on, man.
Wow.
This is Greg. This is the good old boy system.
yeah, you know, he
We're talking about the good old
people-
boys. Remember, he was with the Niners too at one time.
I remember that.
He was with the Bucks too.
Yeah, I remember
And the
he was with
Bucks.
the Niners. But with all that said, you know what I'm saying? Then they hired Cliff Kingsbury. That dude, he had a losing record at Texas Tech, man. This man, he couldn't even freaking win with Patrick Mahomes, man. You know what I'm saying? So he gets hired as head coach. And lo and behold, of course, Wilkes is out after 1 year. So he's joining the lawsuit. He may have more evidence coming stating, you know, more damning evidence, but now his is just basically like, you guys set me up. The bitch set me up, man. You know what I'm saying? That's his whole premise. You know, what do you think about that, Shan?
Oh man, I think that's why the what's your boy the Goodell, why he's trying to make the moves that he's making, man, because it's got to be dealt with. There's no ifs buts about it, because like Malarkey came out on a podcast that it was some years ago, and their Flores' attorneys found that stuff out. So you know it's more stuff out there like that, man. And once you get one of the other races on board saying stuff like that, then it gives it more credibility. But when it's just a bunch of brothers out there or other minorities, then it's just like, stop whining. You know what I mean? And Malarkey went on to say that, you know what, it's from the top down, from the owners all the way to the GM, you know, because I think even the GM said the GM was like, I don't even know why we're having this interview. You know what I mean? And it's just like, there's going to be more to come. I'm just curious what the NFL is going to do, though. You know,
What think they're gonna do?
huh?
That fool getting paid by them.
Yeah, we're gonna
Well,
see. That boy making 25 million a year, man. I don't know. too
Odell
much.
making 40 million a year. You know that shit went up.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know too much he gonna do about that, man.
That's what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
man. They line in his pockets very handsomely.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of that, Mike, what you got on it, man? What you got to say about that?
I just think that it's all bullshit. It's just these racist owners with that slave ship sitting up somewhere. They got that slave ship sitting somewhere. You know what I'm saying? The master with the whip. You know what I'm saying? Can't trust it. You can't trust them. I'm just saying they do the Rooney Rule because they have to. That's just like Goodfellas. If you want to compare to that, when that fool, they probably tell him he already got hired, and they looking at that fool smiling like that fool when Tommy didn't snitch on when what's his name when Henry didn't snitch when he got busted when he had them cigarettes and selling cigarettes from the back of the car. But anyway, my point is this: that owner looked at him and smiled like, you know what to say. He said,
Yeah.
You told them nothing, they got nothing. We already hired you, but don't tell them nothing. You know, he just smiled at him. I just think it's just the black coaches have the shortest leashes of anybody. It's like a pit bull leash. It's like that choke. We're on 2 feet chokehold. You know what I'm saying? You're on 2 feet, like you pet the dog on 2 feet, not on 4, on 2 feet. You fuck up, excuse my language. You mess up, you get fired. But I didn't know that one about the Steve. Well, I knew about the Steve Wilkes one, but the Horton one, that's kind of messy. That's just kind of like Brian Flores' one. Went in, you know, was already Bill Belichick said, okay, you slipped and messed up and told him. So I mean, Malarkey just came out and said it, but why didn't you say this before? You want to say this because you ain't working. You ain't got no head coaching job right now. You guys need to really stick together as coaches. It's not about black and white. It shouldn't be, but in the owner's eyes, it's just their preference. But a black coach can lead you to playoffs and Super Bowls just like anybody else. We've already seen it done.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they still don't trust having black coaches, and they already have these hand-picked coaches, which doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, you got to give that guy, Wilson 1 year. I mean, damn, they did the same thing to Vance Joseph for Denver. You remember how he got that 1 year and they just,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's Elway and them. That's this good old boy. I wasn't happy about that. And I wasn't happy about Anthony Lynn getting fired by the Chargers. I mean, if you wanted, there's other people finna come out. So
it's corporate America.
I can't wait until it come out. And I'm gonna say, Roger Goodell, what are you gonna do about it? Because you're getting lined up with 40 million per year. What you gonna do about it?
63 million.
So what you gonna do?
Damn.
He like tap. He just like the dude said tap. What the?
So what you gonna do? What you think about it, man?
It doesn't surprise me, man. I honestly, at this point, the real alluding to what Mike said, you know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they hire more black coaches? I mean, especially if you look at it when over 70% of the league is black, you feel what I'm saying? But if you go back to old times, every plantation needs an overseer, right? You know what I'm saying? Or something along the lines of that.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is this. If you have these coaches, like obviously Brian Flores, he took a big leap of faith filing this lawsuit. And I think, I would only hope more coaches who have dealt with some stuff like this with regards to whatever level it was, whether that be college or the NFL, because those are like the two biggest things right now as far as like coaching. I think, I think more people should stand up, because I'm sure they're not the only three who, who's dealt with that. We just brought up Vance Joseph. And then there's, Hugh Jackson's in it too as well. I mean, it's a history of this, you know what I'm saying? My biggest thing is I would only hope that there's some type of change that comes from this, not just them getting paid out to shut up, you know what I'm saying, to stop bringing it up. You know what I'm saying? I really hope there's an actual solution to this, because at the end of the day, man, we're just as qualified, if not more, than any other white coach when it comes to coaching these men and them being successful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you look at if you look at one of the most successful coaches in Mike Tomlin of the last 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Besides Bill Belichick, but Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. He is the black coach. So you mean to tell me that he's the only one at all these other coaches who's given the opportunity? And not only that, but an organization that truly believes in it.
Well, look at all the coaches that came from the Tony Dungy tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's proven. You know what I'm saying? It's proven.
Well,
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Dirty though.
Love you.
And on top of that too, and then I'm gonna end it with this. Why not have someone lead your pack, lead your team, who can most relate with the team?
Who could speak
not just on some X's and O's, but on some real life, like outside of football type stuff. Y'all supposed to be this brotherhood, this family. Act like it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? You guys all alluded to what has to happen, because it's about the money. And since it's 70% black people playing in the NFL, if all those brothers got together and said, hey, these rules need to change, I ain't playing no more, I guarantee you we would see some changes, man. You know what I mean? But they know that we're not going to necessarily do that because where we're coming from, but that's
Raider Lady 19. What you got to say about it?
Man, my thoughts are probably unpopular. I don't believe in quotas. I don't like quotas. I don't like affirmative action. I don't rock with none of it, because it creates this environment which you're seeing right now. This is exactly what that kind of stuff builds. It builds nothing but resentment. because the people feel like their hands are forced, regardless if it's right or not. I always say this: you want to be able to tear down the door. You want to be able to you need numbers, and so I say all these coaches who are, second under these position coaches. A lot of these brothers are position coaches, linebacker coaching, whatever the case may be. Every single one of those who are on offense, they better go flood HBCU and take up every job there. And then you amass such a force. They have to let you in, just like they about to let Byron Leftwich, because we was talking about him last week. It ain't no surprise. Bruce Arians took his little shot on the way out and said, Tom get too much credit. I took credit for what Byron did, right? So the game is the preference is offensive coaches right now over defensive coaches for the most part. So I'm saying these brothers who are position coaches need to go to HBCUs, go work with Eddie George and all the rest of them, go dominate that shit and go show. I'm not saying you got to prove your worth again, but I'm saying you flood the block. I believe in flooding the block. So if you flood the block with your talent, they have to let you in. Just like they did Warren Moon. He had to go up in there to CFL, dominated. They had to let him in. You become so fucking good at what you do that they have to say yes, because at the end of the day, they love money and they love a winner. They love white folks love winners. At the end of the day,
great.
You win, they rocking with you.
Yep.
Because you generate cash after that. Yep. Everybody else, that's why you got your short leash. Rooney Rule, we really didn't want you anyway. We had to do this.
Right.
One false step, you out. One false move, we don't like the way you do. We don't like how you talk. We don't like your energy. You out. They look for the first thing to get you up out of there. That's why I don't like quotas. Don't do it. Just be the best.
There you go.
Say I'm a winner. Came to win.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Throw the hammer on top of that nail right there. I like that. You know what I mean? That's a great way to end that one. We're going to move on to my man, Deebo Samuel. That man wants to be the highest non-paid QB in the NFL. Huh. What do you think about that, Shan?
Man, he was on the right team to be utilized the way that he was. I think he's pretty good and whatnot, but how many games did he play? You know what I mean? He produced some numbers, but he got hurt. So I don't know if it was just the way that the Niners were using him or whatnot, or if he's prone for injury. You know what I mean? So he may not get that money because of that. Do I think he deserves it? I'd like to see him on a different team to see what he can produce. You know what I mean? Because anytime you take your wide receiver and make him your leading rusher, you got a problem. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that man didn't do a good job, but what else was he going to do? But when it came to passing in the beginning, he wasn't knocking it out the park. He was not knocking it out the park, man. He only became so popular because he was a leading rusher. So I would have to see him on another team before I entertain that conversation seriously.
Okay. Architect, what you got on it?
I want to rebuttal that real quick, because if you look at Deebo's stats this year, man had 1,400 receiving yards, on top of the 550. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, and then he had 365 rushing yards right this year. Coming off of arguably a year where the Niners, with all the injuries they had, they weren't supposed to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And some would argue that Deebo is the reason why they got to where they got to, more so on the offensive side, because their defense was pretty good for what it was. I honestly think, man, given what Deebo has done for that team, there's no doubt in my mind that man deserves to be paid. You know what I'm saying? Because, you're not asking a Devontae Adams to go out and be your running back. You're not asking Tyreek Hill. Well, they kind of did in Kansas City, for him to be play multiple positions. But for the fact that, Deebo and the man played what? He played 15 out of 16 games that he was available for. You know what I'm saying? I think, man, pay the man, bro.
He left a few early, though.
Still over 1,400 yards, man. That's tough. That's tough. I mean, give that man his money. Shit, the Niners gave Jimmy Garoppolo $142 million to go 5-0 and lose, choke in the Super Bowl. You can give Deebo Samuel some money, man.
I ain't saying you can't. I'm just saying.
Okay. Before you talk, let's hear Raider Mike. What you got on that, man?
Well, much as the 49ers, but I don't really, I'm rock with them, that. But anyway, I got to be fair and you got to be right. And what's right is right. And they got to serve. Justice has to be served. And that man needs to give him his guap. Because if he went for 1,400 yards, when Elijah Mitchell, the running back, got hurt, they gave him them jet sweeps and getting them first downs when they needed them. He was everything to the 49ers offense. Offensively wise, you take Deebo Samuel, if he got hurt, do you think the 49ers would make the playoffs? Absolutely not. Garoppolo wasn't going to carry the 49ers. Deebo carried the 49ers. And I'm going to go back to when Jerry Rice said, Deion didn't win this mother. We won this mother. No, Deebo won this mother. Okay. That's what I'm going to say to that. Deebo won this mother, Tim McDonald's, there was no Elijah Mitchells, there was no Raheem Mosterts, and come on, man. I mean, he deserved to get paid accordingly for what he did. And I think that's the 49ers, they know that, but see, they thought they was going to be able to get over and say he's going to wait till his 5th year, till his year's up, and then they could just pay him. But, but no, he did the right thing, because if everybody else is getting paid, what if he get hurt next year? Now he can't get that paycheck. So no, I believe, and I'm supporting him, Deebo. He needs to start punking people, taking chains, taking bikes, like the real original Deebo. You need to start punking them, getting that check. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the 49ers should pay the man. And I don't know for the market, what he should get. I mean, he ain't gonna get, he might get Devontae Adams money. I mean, he's been that. They relied on him that much to where he could go out and say, I want 140 million. And he should get it. And he should get it. So that's all I got to say on that. That's all I got to say. 140 million, give it to him.
Raider Lady 19.
Oh, man. Deebo Samuels is delusional. He's delusional. And the reason why I say he's delusional, because your body of work is slim, baby. Your foul, when you go get credit, and they say, man, your foul is real thin, man. Your foul is thin, man. All right. Your first year 800, your second year 350 yards, 400 because they had to force feed you. They didn't have nothing. I mean, you did the work. Ain't no doubt. You went out there and played the game. They had to give you the ball. That's why they had to line you up in the slot. They had to put you on the outside. They had to do a jet sweep. They had to get you out the backfield. They didn't have shit. So when you look at his route tree, I ain't impressed. I ain't impressed with his route tree. When you talk about where the receiver really got to go out there and get that work, what I'm saying is his market value is not as high as he think it is for right now. Will somebody overpay? A desperate team? San Francisco might be that squad, but he delusional if he think he getting Tyreek Hill money. He delusional if he think he getting Stefon Diggs money. He delusional if he think he getting Devontae Adams money. Delusion of grandeur. You ain't there yet. You ain't there yet.
They are not. They don't have to pay him.
But you got to look at what the Jags. But you got to look at that. And I think
I like that. I love you that point of view, but I don't feel that way at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the 49ers are running that man's body into the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because your style of running, your running game is injuring your running backs, now you only, who's the toughest guy on the team? Let's throw him in the backfield too. Oh, let's throw him the ball over the middle. Oh, let's throw him the ball. They're using that man to death, man.
Tell it.
They're shortening his NFL life. And right now, the only people getting paid in the NFL are quarterbacks, wide receivers, and edge rushers. You know what I'm saying? If you can sack a quarterback, you're getting broke off. Or if you're a left tackle. You know what I'm saying? And right now, all these wide receivers are, hey, Tyreek Hill, hey, Stefon Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's looking at everybody getting all these. It's the NFL's fault. They're paying these dudes based on their importance to the offense. You know what I mean? So in the 49ers offense, Deebo Samuel is the gas that makes that car run. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who the hell they have at quarterback. So for me, I'm like, that's a black man. Get your money, bruh. You got to. And I understand, Raider lady, his credit score might be a little light. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna run him into the ground. You know what I mean? He got to what he's looking at. He knows how he feels after the games. He's knowing what his body's going through. I'm sure he's like, man, I don't know how many more seasons like this I got in me. So he's like, I got to get my money. So for that reason, I say pay him, because otherwise, across the board, he's not even the same class as Devontae Adams. He's not in the same class as DeAndre Hopkins. Not in the same class as Stefon Diggs. Definitely not in the same class as Tyreek Hill. He's not. But based off of what the Niners are doing to that man and how they just look at this. Without him in their offense last year, I agree with Raider Mike. They ain't going to the playoffs. They're not making it. But they broke off Bosa, what, like $30 million a year? And that dude, he missed 14 games last year. I'm like, man.
I think he's highly overrated anyway, but
me too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if you're gonna pay him, and I'm sure Deebo and the rest of the brothers on the team are looking at it like, hey, pay the white boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Where's my money? You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
I'm saying, but like, know your worth. I mean, it's one thing, but if you go out there and then you're gonna hold San Francisco hostage, then you're gonna try to hold the organization hostage because you want 50, 60, 70 million.
Oh, he should get that though. He gonna get that. Hey, look, his credit score went from 600 to 800.
No, you got to look at it like this.
His credit went up from 1,400 yards.
Like this: the Jags paid Christian Kirk $80 million. So you mean to tell me Deebo ain't worth more than Christian Kirk? And Christian Kirk ain't
on what? How many years? How many years?
I think 4 years.
He ain't worth that much.
And then they did the same thing for Zay Jones.
Yeah, I never heard of that. I mean, that's because those are desperate franchises. So
exactly.
I'm saying,
I feel like Deebo can get something along the lines of,
they're setting the bar for people to be able to look at it and be like, hey, if he getting that much, then I should get this. Just think.
Exactly.
What do you think Lamar Jackson's thinking right now that Deshaun Watson got that damn contract?
Yeah,
you know
I told you about that already.
So, you know, the NFL, they're doing it to themselves. You know what I mean? They're setting the bar for these wide receivers. You know what I mean? So, I think Deebo, like, y'all going to pay me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get top dollar. I want to be the highest paid non-quarterback.
So do you think that it's another team out there that'll be like, yeah, we believe in you and we're going to give you that top dollar higher than Tyreek Hill? Or it's just like he's holding pressure to the Niners?
It don't even really matter. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I don't think so. And we may not. Who the hell thought Tyreek Hill was going to get that kind of money, man? You know what I'm saying? Who the hell thought Deshaun Watson was going to get that kind of money? Nobody. You just don't know. We could look at it and be like, you know what? Ain't no way in hell nobody paying, because nobody's going to use Deebo Samuel like the Niners are using him. I think he's worth that money to their franchise.
Agree.
But should he go to Raiders, Cowboys, Chiefs, or somebody, you know, whoever, he won't be used the same. He'd be relegated to being a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And his numbers would not even probably be all that. Who knows? I don't know.
He'll get 1,000 yards receiving, though. That's for sure.
He'll get 1,000. You know what I'm saying?
1,100. I say he's 1,100 yard wide receiver because of all the tackles he breaks. You got to look at that too, man. This man breaks a lot of tackles. I don't even like 49. You know how I feel about them. But I got to give him credit where credit is due, and that's just bottom line. Okay,
well, let's speaking on receivers getting broke off their money. We'll move right along to old Stefon. Signed that 4-year, $104 million extension. So, like I said, man, the wide receivers, they all looking at each other in these contracts. You know what I'm saying? what Raider lady? We was just talking about Stefon. What do you think
Right.
about his contract extension?
I don't know. I didn't know what his status was. Like, did they tear up his existing contract? Right, he wasn't in the contract year, right? I don't
Oh, he
think
wasn't.
Stefan was up for a contract.
No, he
Yeah, like
wasn't.
I mean, and he's like what, second year in from Minnesota, right?
Mhm.
So they just hedged their bets. They was like, pay him now because it's gonna cost
Yep.
us more in the offseason. So give him what he want now. Let's tear it up.
Good. Great
We already
point.
see him with everybody else getting paid. We already know his personality type. He talked his way. He pouted his way up out of Minnesota. So you already know how he is as a person. So pay him now. Tear up the contract and pay him his money. And that's what they did.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
they
why
can't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
you got to
love-
keep your assets.
I love having a female perspective on this show. Boy.
Word.
You dig deep. Raider Mike, what do you think about that, man?
Well, I agree with what she said because I was about to say that too. But you
Ah,
know, I was
sure
about
you
to say that.
was.
No, it ain't no sure.
I'm just
Gregory, I
playing.
know.
I'm just playing, boy.
I think ahead of the game, just as way she's think ahead of the game, and that's what I think that's what they were going to do, and they showed them want to have to pay him 140 because they gonna give him his walking papers. You know what I'm saying? And send him down the hill. You know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm you know, like I said, get your money, man. Any player, any black wide receiver, y'all go get y'all money, man. Go get it because it's out there and they giving it up.
Yep.
It's not like what
Go get
Scotty
your
said.
money, gang.
You know, he said they ain't giving it up. You know, I said they giving it up. So I applaud him. Get your money, even though if he'd have just waited. If he just said, "Nah, I'm gonna wait a year," then he could have got more. But I think that he likes that organization. They treating him well, so he wanted to do them a favor. You know what I'm saying? He just did them. He gave them a discount.
Sure did, because
he gave them a discount because his numbers that he's putting up there, he can get that Devontae Adams money. He can get that money, man. He can get the Tyreek Hill money. He's a dominant. He's a number one wide receiver.
His quarterback ain't no joke either, man. Shit.
Tyreek Hill is not a number one wide receiver. He is. Him and Devontae Adams are true number ones. But what Tyreek Hill is doing with where they put him, I mean, I can't even say nothing bad. I mean, he doing his thing though. I don't care. He's not a number one receiver, but he's getting paid like a number one because of what he do. But
he's not a number one receiver, Diggs, but he's a number one.
He's the number one offensive player on that team. He's the MVP on the was Kansas City. They done traded away, you know. Like I said, they didn't traded away their luck. Like we done buried our luck, like on Dead Presidents when what's his name? Cleon buried that head. You know what I'm saying? So we just buried our luck. That's all I gotta say.
Shit, what you got on it, man?
Well, obviously, man, after that little playoff game against Kansas City, you know, Josh needs somebody to throw to, right? And just imagine if the overtime rule was changed then and it would have been a different outcome. You know what I mean? And that man's a large part of that. You know what I mean? So he just got his money up front, you know, and the organization is just like, look, man, he's gonna go get some money somewhere else. You know what I mean? He knows his worth, but if he's happy with our scheme of things, and I think it's kind of like a two-way street though, because they're going to be contenders for some years to come. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that, do I want to go, you know, to the Texans and be the highest paid wide receiver, but not go to the playoffs? You know, like you got to kind of balance it out, because if you're a performer and your team's winning, then you get endorsement deals so you could supplement that money that you was going to miss out, you know, had you went to a team that was going to pay you out. But now you're on a losing franchise, and guess what? You're not getting commercials and whatnot. So I think it was a win-win for everybody. And he has a smart head on his shoulders, and he just played it to his advantage.
Nice point. I like that.
Just said,
Architect, bring us home, man.
I think Stefon Diggs, big part of that. I think, you know, after he saw Josh Allen get his contract, he was like, okay. We all can tell the relationship between Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs. It seems to be really good, at least on the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? We saw what he had in Minnesota with Kirk Cousins. I mean, arguably the best play of his career came from a pass from Case Keenum. So, you know what I'm saying? I think I think he found a good. I think he found a good place, like a good role to where he's, where he's at, where he can really maximize his potential, especially with the quarterback like Josh Allen, because Josh Allen is a hell of a quarterback. Period. Point blank. You know what I'm saying? I think. Did he necessarily deserve it? Yeah, that's debatable. But for saying, I think they're also. I think they're kind of projecting on Josh becoming better than what he is now, and having Stefon there, that's kind of like that's his safety net. You know what I'm saying? You look down the field, you see Stefon Diggs, boom. I mean, shit, there's been plenty of times when he threw a touchdown pass to Stefon Diggs, and you hear Stefon Diggs on the field. That's why they pay me. That's why they pay me. So I'm like, hey man, look, if that brings more of that to come, then it makes football more fun. Get man his money. I like seeing Josh Allen throw the ball deep to Stefon Diggs anyways, but is that gonna help Buffalo win a Super Bowl? Yeah.
Maybe they gonna be shit. They gonna be hovering around.
Man, they had Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, and they went 4 times in a row and lost every time.
Hey, but
they
man,
ran into the Cowboys twice. That was
the triplets, man.
They ran into the Cowboys twice.
Thurman Thomas win MVP or something like that.
About to say, if it wasn't for the hook left?
Buffalo, they should have won one. Buffalo should have won one Super Bowl.
Man, Buffalo is cursed. But go ahead, pay that man his money.
That was Chris Norwood missed that one. I bet he's still waking up from that nightmare. Thought he made it, and they said, "Hell no."
Hey, we're gonna keep it pushing now. Now we got another hot topic that's going on right now in the NBA. Who do we think the MVP of the league is? I mean, there's some front runners, usual suspects. Right now, it's pretty much between 3 dudes. You're going to go Embiid, you're going to go Giannis, or you're going to go Nikola. You know what I mean? Everybody else, people say throw Booker in there because best team, best player, but he missed a few games and all that. But the NBA push who they want to push. They never pushed him at all this season. Right. So he don't really have a realistic shot.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And you look at the numbers, shit. A lot of people think LeBron, but he wouldn't stand a chance in hell because his team is so far out there, eliminated.
See, but that's where they're messing up. MVP is the best player, not the best team.
Okay, well, start us off, man. Lead us into this conversation.
Okay, my MVP candidate, I don't care for real what nobody said. I think is John Morant. You know what I'm saying? Even though he got hurt, I think he missed 20-some games or something like that. But I mean, if you look at his stats and you know what I'm saying, and also what he means, to his team looks at him as a leader. His stats has improved, dramatically over since first entering the season. And then I've been saying this all year. You look at the stats that D-Rose had when D-Rose won MVP, and John Morant's are better. Granted, it's a different time. We're in a different league now, but you still got to mean something. At least it does to me. So me personally, I got John Morant as I think he deserves MVP. You know what I'm saying? And then right behind him, I got to give it to Joker. And I don't like the Nuggets at all, but Joker is a bad man.
Nah, man. You want me to tell you? I got to take this one. And I'm going to tell you, Lil G, you know what I'm saying, young architect, I feel you. I hear what you're saying. But them damn Grizzlies is winning without that man. And that's why he's not going to win the MVP. They still winning.
16-2.
But I'm just saying, if they started slipping and sliding, then I'll say you give it to him because that's how much more he means to that team. But they're winning without him, right? I'm just want to just clear that up right now. They're winning without him. That's why he's not going to win it. He's going to be close. I think he'll be second, but I'm going to tell you who's going to win it. And I know they want to give it to the Joker, but the Joker he can't win the playoff games. So he shouldn't, he ain't getting it. LeBron ain't getting it because the Lakers, we done fell flat on our face. I'm still going to go with, it's either going to be Giannis or it's going to be Embiid. That's what I think it's going to be. And my personal pick is Embiid. And if he don't win it, I won't be surprised if Giannis win it again. So, win it, because I don't think the Joker is wild enough. I mean, I don't care what stats he putting up. When the playoffs come, It's all about if they gonna really truly, like Lil G said, Young G said, if they're gonna truly give the MVP to the best player of the season, then by all means give it to LeBron. Then, if you're gonna do that, if you want to do it like that, but that's not the way they're doing it. It's a popularity contest, and I don't think that dude deserves to win it twice. I'll take Embiid. That's it.
Okay. Big Shan, what you got on it?
I think, of course, Giannis and Embiid come up, but I think people are kind of sleeping on Jason Tatum, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's over there doing his thing, man, and they just beat the Grizzlies today, and clinched the number 2 seed. So, like I've been kind of watching him. I'm not an avid basketball fan unless it's the Warriors, but like you talking about Giannis and Embiid, those are big dudes and whatnot. You know what I mean? Tatum's got a nice size, but he's more of a finesse player, and then he's leading this team, man. He is leading his team, and that's what an MVP does. That's why Steph Curry got the MVP unanimously because he was leading his team. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden they were like MVP goes to Jason Tatum. So I'm following that cat, man. And he's doing his thing. So I'll leave it at that, man.
Okay. Light skin power.
One potato, two potatoes.
Hey, bring us back, man. Steph, the Splash Brothers did. I'll take that.
Raider Lady 19.
Hold up, I gotta get some.
I like Jason Tatum. He's a future Laker, but it's I gotta go with Nikola. I have to go with the Joker for real, man. We talking about a big man who can really do it all.
Yeah.
Do it all. The man averages like 14 boards a game. 27, 14, and 8. 24, 14, and 8 in modern day basketball for a big man is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And what he means to that team. Yeah, they got who's they got? Murray out. Murray been hurt for like 2 years.
Porter out.
Michael Porter Jr.
Right, Michael Porter, his back, right? His back always hurt.
It's Jokic. That's it.
Nikola is making them go. And if we're talking about the season, the team nearly got 50 wins. So if we're talking about just the season, he's been the most dominant player, the most consistent player in the league by far. It's not to me, it's not close if you look at it from that standpoint. Losing 2 of your top 3 players. All right, 2 of your top 3 and putting up 27, 14, and 8. Do you understand how difficult that is to do night in and night out? 14 and 8 as a 7-footer. 7'2", and you weigh about 300. And you're slow as molasses.
Look, and he played 74 games this year.
That fool can't even jump an inch off the ground.
He's slow as molasses. He can't jump off the floor, but yet has such an impact on the game every single night.
That's crazy.
He reminds me of a different player.
I love that. I love that. You stole a lot of my thunder. I'm with you on that.
Right.
So I'm like, we ain't even mentioned the fact that he's the first player in NBA history to have over 2,000 points, over 1,000 rebounds, and over 500 assists in a season. You know what I'm saying? And the guy, he leads the Nuggets in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, and field goal percentage. And without Jamal Murray, as Cuzzo mentioned, and Michael Porter Jr. still has the Nuggets in the 5th seed.
He has to do all
come
that.
on, man.
He is what Arvidas Sabonis would have been if he came
Hell
over
yeah.
young.
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
I say that all the time.
He came over here
for me, I think Giannis is in the same position Michael Jordan was in when he played. You can kind of give it to Giannis every year. You know what I'm saying? But they're not going to do it because, there's going to be somebody that pops up with a special year, some of the time. So Giannis is kind of like a victim of his own success, so to speak, in that manner. And Embiid, to me, I'm not going to say he doesn't have any impact on games because he does, but I don't like crybabies, man. I do not like it. Like, well, there's something against Philadelphia players because we don't get the respect. I'm like, man, come on. Julius Erving, Dr. J, he won an MVP. Moses Malone won an MVP. AI won the MVP. So what did the league? So what did the league have against 76er players? Nothing.
They want to see the 76ers in there. They
Right.
a market that they
The
would
league
love
wants
to
it
have in there.
Surely.
I'm like, bruh. And then when you went against Jokic, I mean, you outscored him. You had 34 points. But guess what? Your team lost. And then what did Jokic do? He threw up 22, 13, and 8 on you. Damn near threw up a triple-double, man. And his team won. So you want to win the MVP, put the smash down and take it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's one of those things to me where, I like Jokic. And, to win the MVP, he's not my favorite player. I'm just going by what I see. And plus, I watch games when he plays. He has an impact on the games. You know what I mean? He has an impact on the outcome.
They giving the MVPs all the big players mostly anyway. I mean,
the big man is back.
Kobe should have won at least 3 of them. It's only because of Shaq was on the Lakers why he didn't. Come on, man. I mean, Kobe only won 1. They gave 1 to Steve Nash that he didn't deserve. That was Kobe's MVP. It should have been.
Shaq's MVP.
That was Kobe's. That year, Kobe should have won that one.
We know why he didn't get it, because he was playing for his life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
little thing going on. Well, I was gonna jump into this next one. I think I'm gonna save this one for last. We'll jump to Mr. Tiger Woods. Made a little comeback this week. Played in the tournament. Played in the Masters. Shen, since this was your thing, you brought it up. What do you got on it, man? What do you got to say about old Tiger?
I just thought it's interesting because he said he's playing in the Masters. He believes he could win, but that's what a champion is going to say. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, don't play golf, don't understand it, but it's a really physical game. Even though it looks like it's not, you're using all the components and mechanics that most sports use: your back, your legs, your shoulders, your swinging, your pitching and whatnot. That accident tore him up, you know what I mean? But, when he first won the first Masters, he was coming off of being injured, and then the doctor was like, hey, bro, you know what? You can't do nothing. And he's like, what are you talking about, man? I got to go play in the Masters. I'm about to win it. And guess what? He won it. You know what I mean? So sometimes your mind, can tell your body what to do, but sometimes you got to listen to your body. So I think he's just at a point in his career where he's just got to figure out. I don't think he's done, you know what I mean? Even though I think he finished like 47th, but he's just older now, so as you get older, you got to move differently, you know what I mean? And you got to readjust your strengths, you know what I mean? Like a good quarterback goes from throwing a deep ball to making smart plays, as he gets older. So I just think that's where he's at in his career. But, I know a lot of people will probably write him off and be like, oh, no, he's done. He just has to play smarter now. That's all to me.
Okay, I can dig that. Raider lady?
Oh,
you like the golf thing.
Oh, yeah. Hey, shout out Tiger Woods, man. He's the reason why I picked up a golf club. I went back to school. I went back to school in 2016 to go. I went to go to Laney just to play golf. And it was because of Tiger Woods. The man is a true definition of what a phenom is. A phenom. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was remarkable. That man could have had his legs cut off.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of his shit is self-inflicted, let's not get it twisted. A lot of stuff that's messed with him has been self-inflicted.
Facts.
He's created it, but his mental toughness is beyond anything I've seen in many athletes, man. The dude, I mean, that dude is an inspiration, man. I don't care about his clabber-Canadian, what he want to call himself. He know he a black man. You saw how them children came up. He see how dark Sam darker than me. All right. So once he understood, he started looking at them babies, that's when he wanted to accept who he is. And that's, sometimes life do you like that. But no, it was great to see him out there. He made the cut. I bet you nobody thought he was gonna make the cut.
Yeah. I didn't. I didn't think he'd make the
He
cut.
made the cut. I mean, you're going up against 100 and some people every single week in golf. Golf is seen as a country club sport, but the way he attacked it like a true athlete attacks it. He trained his body, trained his mind, and that's why you saw the sheer domination from there in there 20 years, and you'll never see nothing like it again, period. The man played on a broken fucking fibula to win the U.S. Open, a broken fibula.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I seen him limp up the 18th. I was like, yeah, best to ever do it.
Man, you make me want to pick up a golf club. Shoot.
It's
You know what I'm saying?
It's great.
Raider Mike, what do you think about Tiger?
Well, I'm a Tiger Woods. Like I said, he's a great athlete, great golfer. He's, like I said, he's probably gonna go down as the greatest golfer to ever do it. And I don't have no, gripe with that. I cannot say that he's not. He has the mental, more than anyone in this history of sports. I mean, to be able to do what he did, but I still say he's a whole year away from being able to really get back to where he really wants to play. I'd say he got another major tournament to win. I think he'll win one more, or maybe two before it's all said and done, because you can play golf till you're about 80. Shoot. So I figure he can muster up two of them. But, like I said, golf ain't my really no sport that I really watch. And the only reason why I watch golf, and I can honestly say that, is because he was out there. My father-in-law loved Tiger Woods. So, he used to watch all the Tiger Woods matches. And I say, well, okay, let me see. That was my reason why I started watching Tiger Woods. But, like I said, I'm not really a golf fan. I mean, I know there's a couple other, Rory McIlroy. I don't know all them golfers, and we got the big lefty and all them, but Tiger is clearly in his heyday, was the best golfer, and everybody knows that. He was intimidating all of them. They knew he was going to come back and win, but right now he ain't there yet. But he'll get back there as long as he keep putting in the work. I think he can get back there, and maybe he'll win one or two, and then that'll be it. And he will solidify himself as the greatest golfer of all time. That's all I got to say on it. I don't watch it like that. I don't go out to the range that much. I used to do it, but hey. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have much on it. I'm just amazed at the fact that the man was out there. You know what I'm saying? Could have had his right leg amputated in the accident. It was only like a little over a year ago. You know what I'm saying? And at the time of the accident, they were like, he may never walk again. You know what I'm saying? Or he may not have his leg. Just a bunch of things. The man was tore up. And like Raider Lady said, mentally toughness, this dude is probably the toughest minded athlete that there is. You know what I'm saying? As far as mental toughness, he was taught that by his pops. So give him all the credit in the world for that. And, just like you said, he trained himself. Golfers usually were out there, cats with bellies and just in whatever kind of shape. You know what I mean? Tiger was out there looking like he came fresh out the gym. You know what I'm saying? That man had guns, you know what I'm saying? Little shoulders, so he changed the face of golf, not only with the color of his skin, but just the shape of his body and his mental toughness. I'm sure it was child's play for him to get out there and play against these dudes when he just knew in his mind, like, man, I'm dancing all around these dudes, man. You know what I mean? And so for him, in the condition he was in, to get out there, he was plus 13. You know what I mean? And imagine this is a tournament he's like used to being minus 20 in or something. You know what I mean? So I'm sure for him it was disappointing, maybe. But knowing him, who knows? I'm sure he thought he could win. Matter of fact, he told a reporter that he thought he could win. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, he had to know. You know what I'm saying? Just let me get out here. Finishing this tournament, walking up and down those hills was an accomplishment. So kudos to him for that, besides all his political views or whatever you may think of him and philandering, whatever the hell. As far as what he did, no better word than what you said. No.
They had a tiger proof. They call tiger proofing courses. Never done before, ever.
Exactly. Which is really black proof in this course. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to him. You know what I'm saying? Architect, what do you think about it?
I mean, for saying that, he had his accident and whatnot. And then on top of that, the big thing was, despite I was reading, I think it was CBS Sports, and it was like, despite him having his worst career, like in the Masters or whatever, which I really didn't think. I mean, Tiger thought, of course, Tiger gonna think he's gonna win. He has that type of mentality. But just watching, I mean, the only reason why I watch golf is similar to Mike. I mean, shit, he was on TV. He's the black dude playing, a white sport. You know what I'm saying? So that right there attracted me because I was just like, damn, like I don't know anybody that plays golf. I mean, but shit, having his accident, he still went out there and it went for 72 holes, man. Like that itself is taxing on the body. You know what I'm saying? People don't think that there's people out there who don't think like golfing is like athletic and whatnot, whatever. But I mean, damn, bro. I've played golf, like just like having fun with some of my friends, and I can say from my experience that shit it's not one, it's not for everybody, but two, it really is taxing on the body. Like that constant motion of when you're trying to swing or even just walking
that torque on that back.
Yeah, bro, like it's a lot. So I'm saying, me as seeing, Tiger I kind of caught on to Tiger like around 2009. And I was just like, I was in awe, and I'm still in awe saying that, he didn't have his best showing, but I mean, shit, he's still doing better than most people would give him credit for, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think there's hardly anybody, if anybody, who would damn near lose their legs. And then, like, a year later, be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back and get into what I was getting into. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try and be the best. I don't think he's done. You know what I'm saying? At first, when I first read this and I first was looking into it, I was like, oh, he's giving me like when Jordan was on the Wizards. But realistically, I don't think it's like that at all. I think Tiger he still has more years ahead of him. And plus, I think he's gonna kind of do that LeBron thing where he, like, once his son really gets into it, him and his son gonna have that back and forth, and that's gonna be a whole story. But that's looking further into the future. So, but
Well, I like that, but I want to know from all you guys: does he have 3 more major wins in him?
No.
I think he does.
Didn't Arnold Palmer play until like he was hella old?
Because what's Tiger? Tiger's about 40 something, right?
He got 2.
Tiger's 46.
He's 46. So let's just say to 56. I mean, a golfer could still be decent at 56. Yeah. So in 10 years, can that man win 3 majors to get to Jack Nicklaus?
I believe so.
To get to the Bear. That's what he wants.
He only really needs to get one more to get to him, don't he? He don't need that many.
He got 15.
How many does he need? Jack got 17, right?
He needs 3. 18. The Bear got 18. He needs 3 more.
The Bear got 18, and he can get 4.
Yeah.
Right?
No. I just want to know, can he tie him?
I'll tell you like this, man.
18?
He can tie it.
When's the last time Jack played?
Jack ain't playing.
You tell us.
No, but my point is, it's been over decades, right? At least it's been over, I think, 20 years maybe, right? But the point is, medicine's changed, right? And then we're talking about a young cat who's dealt with adversity, and he came into the game like challenged and won. So
I just want to know, can he get? I want to know from you guys, can he get
yes.
3 more majors?
I say yes, because he's not going to stop. His mental toughness is there, to your cousin's point. You know what I mean? He has that, like, I know what I need to do to win. And plus, the medicine is different now. Okay,
so you say yes. Let's see what everybody else got on. Raider lady, you the golf you know what I'm saying, aficionado. Can he get?
I would love to see him tie. I'm only gonna say no because it's hard to win a major. It's very difficult to win a major.
Little faith.
I know, right? It took him a long time to get that Masters. It took him like a 4-year, 5-year drought for him to come back and win Augusta in 2019. And so Yeah, I don't think he'll pass it. I think he'll get to what is it? The record is 18. He's at what,
Yeah.
15?
15.
He'll get 16. I don't think he'll break Jack's record.
Because one thing he'll never do, he'll never win another British Open. Is
Too
that
difficult.
the one?
Too
That
difficult.
that mug is way too difficult. I don't think he'll get one of those. I can see him getting the US or
US is hard.
It's hard. I can see him
Hard.
getting that maybe or Masters. But what's the other Grand Slam? There's 4, right?
Right. The British, US, that and
Masters.
damn,
There's
I almost said
also-
the PJ Championship.
Yeah, PGA.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, he may get between those 3. He'll never win a British Open. That mug, that course, you could look at that even as a novice. Myself, I look like God. Dan look like he playing in the weeds at Washington Park. Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Too much wind, too much rain. It's difficult. You got to be able.
Yeah.
You got to have a lot of strength. I don't know if he has it anymore. Be able to cut the ball against the wind like you got to do in overseas over there and keep the ball low, hit them stingers. That used to be his shit.
That's of course a Shambo. That's a course that big fool Shambo can play on and win.
Right. Yeah.
Look
It's
at
all
you, Red Mike, dropping the golf knowledge, huh? So yes or no? Could he get it? Could he get the 3?
Who, me or her?
Yeah, you, Red
I already
Mike.
told you. Didn't hear what I said when you asked me. I said 2.
I know you talk a lot, but I, you know
No,
what I'm
I
saying?
said he got said only. I give him. It takes 2. I think
Just
he
2?
get 2.
Okay, so
Only
2.
with the prayers and the vitamins.
And Architect, you said
You know, I think he could break it.
okay.
I
That's that
got-
young, youthful mind.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Look, that man he might get a little robotic leg or something. You never know. You never know. But no, I think he could. I honestly think he could. And that's just not even me just like trying to like I mean shit.
So you say he gonna get 4?
Because he's 46. He's 46. I say he'll probably be done playing around 60. I think by the time he's 60, he can have 4.
Okay. All right, man. We're gonna keep it pushing to this last one, and this one is very near and dear to my heart. I'm just gonna read you guys from there. Mookie Betts, Ronald Acuna Jr., Tim Anderson, Aaron Judge, Byron Buxton, Cedric Mullins, Marcus Simeon, Fernando Tatis Jr., Marcus Stroman, and Randy Arozarena. I think that's how you say his name. But this is the list of the top 10 Black MLB players. And I have an issue with this list because one, let's see, Ronald Acuna Jr. I like that dude. That dude is tight and he's very talented, but he's Venezuelan and doesn't consider himself Black.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Go to Fernando Tatis Jr. I remember Fernando Tatis Sr. Good player. Son is a great player. I mean, when I say great, his son's probably behind Mookie, probably the best, in the MLB. Definitely better than Harper. But they call him El Nino. He's Dominican. Don't consider themselves Black. Then you go to Randy Arozarena, if that's how you say his name. He's a Cuban defector. Dude is good. I like his game. He was the MVP of the ALCS, man. Dude, he can play. Again, doesn't consider himself Black. He's Cuban. I'm Cuban. I'm not Black. You know what I'm saying? That's how they get down. You know what I mean? And I know they didn't have my man on there. I love Andrew McCutchen Jr., but he's older. He's 35. But to me, if you're a Black player, there's some things that have to happen. For instance, Andrew McCutchen. That man's daddy's name is Lorenzo. You know what I'm saying? And let's go to Tommy Pham. That man's mama's name is Tawana. You know what I'm saying? Mookie Betts. His name is Mookie and his daddy's name is Willie. You know what I'm saying? And his mama's name is Diana. So for me, when you say American black baseball players, or you say black baseball players, we talking American players, man. You know what I'm saying? And baseball is going to struggle until they get American black players in there. One of my Dominican brothers, they don't speak the language and they don't trip off speaking the language either. They like, just give me the money so I can go back home and feed my people. And I have nothing against that. Do your thing. But we can't throw you in the category of, American black players, and y'all don't bring the seats to the game. You know what I mean? People don't come to see y'all. You know what I mean? My favorite player is Cedric Mullins. You know what I'm saying? And Cedric Mullins, I like this cat because one, he has Crohn's disease. And he was the year after he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in 2019, 2020, that man went 30-30, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. You know what I'm saying? And he has a flair to his game. Mookie Betts has a flair to his game. Aaron Judge, you may say whatever, he's 6'7" and look like Frankenstein, but his game still has a little flair to it. So, this list is a little insulting to me. And the most insulting thing in this to me is I'll ask you all one by one. You can go like Architect, Raider Mike, Shan, and Raider Larry 19. Y'all can go in that order. Tell me what percentage of MLB you think is American blacks. Go ahead, Architect. Just give me a percentage.
0.2.
Okay. Raider Mike.
I'm gonna go lower than that because I don't feel that I'm gonna give it I would say 15%. I'm
okay.
Gonna go there.
Big Shan.
Yeah, I was gonna say 15, but I'll say 12%.
Okay, Raider Lady 19.
5%.
You're the closest. It's only 7%, man. 7%. Can you imagine that?
No.
I mean, in baseball, I wonder why they have no ratings. Nobody's coming to the game to fill up these stadiums until playoff time. People come out, whatever. And you have, certain fans that come out for certain teams, but overall, the sport is struggling. So a constant thing for me is always going to be put some goddamn brothers on the field if you want to bring your game back. But, with all that said, I don't know, I ranted and raved. I try not to do that much, but I'm very passionate about this when it comes to baseball. You know what I mean? Like, I got into baseball because my granddaddy, Joe Woods, was a major Dodgers fan. And it was because, what's the name, breaking the color barrier. You know what I'm saying? So
Robinson.
That's right. That's why, I'm on it like that. But Raider 19, what do you think about this list?
It's my game too, man. I played, softball. I played collegiate softball. I played baseball all my life. I'm actually getting my youngest. We got him out there. He 8. So I definitely you need a pipeline. Let's call it what it is. You got to invest. They went out there and invested in Latin America. I mean, it's just like all other business. It's cheap labor. No disrespect.
Yeah.
No disrespect. You only got to pay about the top tier Latin America, Latin players. The rest of them you can just bring over here. It ain't no different than people coming out from healthcare. Go get them from the Philippines to bring them on in. They feel that they do their job. They do it well. You pay them and they give you nothing. I mean, when I say give you nothing, I mean it's they going about their business. You don't have the attitude. So
Yep. You hit the nail on the head.
Hey, what's my man name? One of my favorites of the 90s. What was his name? The dude that played for the Cleveland Indians.
Was it black?
The brother that rocked with Barry Bonds.
You're not talking about Joe Carter or Kenny Lofton, are you?
Not Kenny, the big one, the big home run hitter. Y'all know, with the attitude. He ran that fool over on second base when they was trying to turn 2 and he ran right through.
Oh, you talking about, and his son played for the Blue Jays? Nah, not him.
Nah, he didn't play for the Indians, though.
Big brother built like a football player, but he played baseball. He played for the Indians.
Unless you're talking about Frank
Thomas?
Frank Thomas
played for the
White Sox.
Played for the White Sox. Man, what is that?
Big Hurt? That's the Big Hurt.
No, he played for the White Sox.
No, he used to.
I don't remember nobody for the Cleveland Indians.
When they were in their heyday with Jim Thome and them.
Well, Joe Carter
brother, he
played
was
on that
standoff. He
team.
was real standoffish. You know what I'm saying? He didn't take no shit. But that's the point. They don't want them types. Bell. That's his name. Bell. I forget his first name.
George Bell. Wait, what's that?
No,
dude's
George
name?
Bell.
George Bell.
No, he Barry Bonds. He come from the Barry Bonds era. He with them with Bobby Bonds.
It wasn't no Bobby Bonilla.
David Bell?
Not Bobby Bonds, but
Bobby Bonilla.
What'd you
Bobby
say?
Bonilla.
Was it David Bell? Albert
No.
Bell? Albert
I
Bell.
will look it up right now,
Bell.
but I know when we find his name, y'all gonna be like, hell yeah. But that's the kind of attitude that they baseball rather not deal with.
Shit, even Ricky Henderson. They don't want to deal with nobody like him.
So
Hey,
they
Ricky
put
was
their
cool,
pipeline in Latin America instead of going to where they've always got the talent. I mean, brothers are not playing it in the mass numbers, but you can't tell me you don't have the Jimmy Rollins. Plenty of Jimmy Rollins. There's plenty of CC Sabathia's out here.
Oh, Albert Bell.
I just said Albert Bell.
You said George.
No, I said Albert Bell just a couple of seconds ago.
Okay, that's him. Yeah.
Yep.
It's that type of personality that they wanted to steer away from. You know what I'm saying? Right. If it wasn't the All-American Ken Griffey, the rest of the brothers that played, all them cats, Otis Nixon, all them cats, them was real brothers, and they didn't take no shit.
Well, Albert Bell definitely didn't take no. I remember
Gary Pettis
brought that up. I remember
Dave
he didn't take no shit. That's why Albert Bell didn't play long.
Yep, that's true. You know what I'm saying?
She's right. She 100% correct though.
Yeah. What you got on the Raider Mike? You agree?
I agree with her on that Albert Bell. The reason why is because of the attitude. They don't want to deal with the person talking back to them or telling them no. You know what I'm saying? So they could tell the other people go, and then the black person are telling nigga no. Like Messay, like my boy Messay on that song. I told her to go, but she told a nigga no. They said, wait a minute, fool. This coupe, the black person said, wait a minute, fool, this coupe need gas. You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna pay me, get up out my face real fast. And I just think that that is the number one reason is because black people we but the thing is we put the butts in the seats. We brought the swag to this game that's where it is right now. We stole all the bases. Nobody's stealing bases like Ricky. Nobody's stealing bases like Tim Raines and Ricky Henderson was stealing one year when they both had 100 stolen bases. But Ricky had 130 one of them years, and just really, just put that out of mark. To just put it out of sight. Nobody ever break his record, and yet we're not having players in this game anymore that do those things, and that's the reason why it's disappeared, because the black player has disappeared from baseball. That's why we don't have that. People used to go to the game to watch Ricky Henderson steal bases. We knew he could hit the ball. We knew he could do all that stuff. He's fast. But what did they go to see Ricky do just besides hitting? They want to go see Ricky Henderson steal them damn bases. And Greg, we used to go to them games all the time. We used to watch that fool steal second and steal third.
But not even just steal the bases, just the way he did it.
It's the way he did it.
It's the mind game.
Remember, he studied the pitchers. Ricky Henderson studied the pitchers. He studied all their moves. He studied the catchers. Said the only catcher to throw Ricky Henderson out, and we both know, and if you don't want me to tell you, Greg, Bob Boone, Bob Boone is the only catcher that could throw Ricky Henderson out, and not all the time. He would have to definitely get the jump before Ricky did, because if he didn't, Bobby, Bob Boone had a cannon, but if he knew if Ricky got that jump, it was no chance. So my thing like I said about her point is true though. I mean, I just think there's more cheaper to get those players, and they're more willing to put up with the shit.
Docile.
And they're willing. They're not going to be hostile about getting their money. They're just going to quietly go about and do their business and get what they get until they forced to give them the payment. The black player is going to say, I need my money for 3 years of putting in work. He said, I just did, like Ray said, I just did 3 years for putting in work. They want their money. And I just think that's the reason why the black players disappear, because there's, like she said, there's all kind of black players. I told you this before. I said there's got to be on every team, there's got to be at least one superstar black baseball player that should be on there. or maybe
You
not
can't
even
be
just
average.
one.
You
Not even
can't
just
be an
one.
average brother
It's
in
gotta be
baseball.
at
You
least,
got to be a 5
yeah,
tool.
5. You got to be a
Yep.
5 tool
5
player to make it. And there's
Yep.
other
to
them
be
players
a
that's
brother in
not 5
baseball.
tool. So you may tell me all of those ones that's come
Yeah.
over 5 tool, they are not. So they
Yep.
just easier to deal with, and they won't cost them as much in the long run, and they won't give them the attitude or give them the pushback, which they don't want. They don't want the pushback. So they want.
Well, you know what they don't want?
Huh?
They don't want Kurt. They don't want Kurt Flood.
No,
That's what they don't want.
But Kurt Flood didn't even benefit off of what he started. That's what
But
the whole coach part about it.
But he started it. That's the thing.
That's the thing. He started it,
You know what
and
I'm
everybody
saying?
should be paying him homage. Like I say, the game is sold, not told. He should have had his hand out, and they should be lining Kurt Flood's pockets up if he ain't passed already.
Yeah, I believe he passed, but
Well,
yeah, he passed
maybe-
in in '97.
Well, give some of that money to his family because the game is sold, not told. I mean, so that's all.
Yeah. So, Shan, what you got on that, man?
I mean, it's America, man. This corporate America, man. That's what it alludes to, right? And you know, back in the day, you had Mr. Johnson. I'm sorry, let me use another name. You had Mr. Hill, who was an asshole, but he was good at his job. And you like, oh, that's just Mr. Hill, you know, but he's the best that could do it. He got a little attitude, right? But you got production out of him, you got quality shit and whatnot, and that's why you put up with that. But now corporate America is like, I don't have to put up with that. You know, I'm gonna go find somebody that'll give me a little less attitude, you know, but I'm not gonna get everything that I want out of the deal, but I can settle for that. And so that's what we got going on in baseball. You know, like you think about all the brothers that you know, were milestone players or did something, they all had attitudes. They had to. Josh Gibson, Satchel Paige, you know, they had to go through bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But America being on this corporate structure is like, hey, we still gonna make money. You know, it's just a question of whether or not you want to kind of trade off and make a little money or a lot of money in long term, but we're not dealing with this because all the players that y'all name, man, I remember watching Ricky Henderson just to watch him slide and be like, with some showmanship and to give you that look like, yeah, I'm going. Are you going to be able to catch me? You know what I mean? Yep. Ken Griffey Jr., he was more polished in his game because he learned from his dad. But he was still showing the attitude, had the swag, had the shoes, you know, the flavor. You know, it's astonishing to me that Black people have to kind of conform to America stuff, but then they go over to different countries and get these players, and no diss to them, but they don't have to learn English. Well, you know what I mean? Like they'll get a translator from them for them. If we go across seas, they like no understand, you know, blah blah. Just deal with the shit, cause hey, you ain't in America, Jack. You in Rome. You need to speak Italian and whatnot, you know. But America's so wrapped up on that dollar that they're put up in that shit, but they're so disengaged and disfranchised with the Black man that they think we're hurting their business, and we're like, nah, treat us like men, and guess how much money you'll make.
Yeah, but
like that. I like that. Let's let Architect get up in here.
Yeah, but let me just say one thing before that. If we had more people with personalities like Ken Griffey Jr. did, there would be more Black baseball players playing right now. And you know that Ken Griffey Jr. had a good personality and he never gave no problems. That's why. Yeah, but he was great.
Him the kid. He was the kid.
He was the greatest baseball player of my era. I don't care. He's my favorite.
Yep. Okay, Architect. Young guy. You remember all the little A's games they used to take you to?
There was barely a speck of color on that field. But no, I think me growing up, my era, I think we had the last like dope Black baseball players. You know what I'm saying? We caught Barry Bonds kind of like in between to the end of his career. Ken Griffey at the end of his career, more so. You know what I'm saying? You got guys like Jimmy Rollins, Dontrell Willis, Rajay Davis, Coco Chris. I can go on and on about certain players. But I think all in all, I think a lot of kids my age just stopped playing baseball. Like we just lost interest. And it wasn't even, I don't even think it was just because obviously the big thing would be obviously there's not a lot of us who we see on TV. But then I look at, you know what I'm saying? You look at the NBA, you look at the NFL, you look at how it's marketed as well. Like though they market really, really well. When it's baseball season, I don't really think a lot of people pay attention because baseball, you know, they're so stuck in their old ways. Like this is a tradition, we have to do it a certain way, and blah 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 blah. Because I mean, just the other day, I was having this conversation with my friends because we were talking about, bro, if we have kids, like what sports would they play and stuff like that. I was like, and I said baseball because baseball was one of my favorite sports. And my friends looked at me like I was crazy. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what the hell going on? I'm like, bro, if you look at it right now, if you look at top 2022 high school baseball players, I think 4 out of the top 10 are black. And the number one, he's black. His name is Tamar Johnson or something like that. He's from Atlanta. And the dude looked dope. And so I think really it's just like we're going through a cycle of just like more kids. You got to think about it. Kids today, they want to be a rapper, they want to be a football player, or they want to be a basketball player. Why? Because that's the most thing that's thrown in your face. You don't see baseball getting thrown in your face. When it's baseball season, you don't see all these commercials like, oh, such and such baseball games and such. Not, you don't see that. You just simply don't see it. I think baseball can do a better job at marketing as well. Of course, along with them having those personalities, because you can't lie. Like, yes, Fernando Tatis and all these other Dominican and Latin American players, yeah, they're coming across. But at the same time, like they have certain personalities that not necessarily, you know, and there's like white kids and black kids and Asian kids who all want to do what these players are doing specifically. But it's just not as well, it's not marketed as well. You know what I'm saying? I think a bigger thing has to do with marketing. You got to if you want to get more youth, you got to market to the youth.
Let me tell you something, B. This is what this is, man. If you marketing dog shit the right way, people will buy it. Now, let me tell you this. What they're trying to do with Fernando Tatis Jr., they're trying to market him as a face of baseball. People are not paying attention, but he's been in several commercials. He's been all over. They have him plastered everywhere. He's not that guy. I mean, he's great. He's talented. His talent screams, I'm the best, whatever, but he ain't got that. Baseball has no soul.
He has no,
you know what I'm saying?
They don't have no it factor.
No it factor. And then you could pick, like you said, top, how many baseball players now, G, was black?
Like
how many?
4 out of the top 10. And like they're all one, I want to say 1 and 2. Oh, let me pull it up real quick.
Man, if you groom all 4 of those dudes to be the best at baseball and take the time out and do that, at least 2 of them can carry the game. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, like Cuzzo was saying, they don't want anybody that's going to talk back. They don't want nobody to have contract arbitration. They don't want anyone to freaking affect their bottom line. But this is what's going to happen to baseball. They're going to be phased so far back in ratings and whatever else behind basketball and football. What does everybody do when they need to get their shit to jump off? Like Fox. Fox is a new network. They're like, hey, we need to live in color. We need living single. We need all this.
We need Shannon Sharp.
What's that other channel? It was not Paramount, but it's when the one that had Black Lightning and freaking
WB.
They put all the black shows on. If you want to make your money, you want to jump it off, who do you call? Call the American Brothers.
Who you gonna call?
You gotta call the American Brothers to jump it off. So what's gonna happen with baseball? They're gonna come. You know what I'm saying? And I hope these young brothers peel their cap for every damn dollar they can get.
Hey, let me ask y'all this, man. Since you saying
from us though,
because baseball is like one of the oldest sports. Like it was started in the 1800s. So do you think that old school mentality is still alive and well? You know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
No, mentality
is dead.
because that's what I think. Like
old-
1876.
that shit is dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. The thing is, we know what this country is about. It's about
Yeah.
dollars and cents, man.
Right.
These cats, man, come on, bro. We don't all see the ID channel. Motherfucker kill his mama for the insurance money, man. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So the thing is, they're gonna come to the brothers, man.
Yeah, they'll
and I
come
hope-
back. They'll come back full circle. They become a niche sport.
They
Yeah.
Never
always
did they
come
thought
back.
that they'll become a niche sport. Baseball is now niche.
Yeah.
From the top, from used to be inside the top three. You know,
Yeah.
they were amongst
Well,
the
that's
big.
when the
Now they're
brothers is
niche.
in there. But
Yep.
it starts with us with when we have children, like she said, the pipeline, it starts with us is teaching those our children how to play basketball. I got a 9-year-old that I'm about to start teaching baseball, and I'm got a 2-year-old grandson that can throw the hell out of the ball, that can throw both hands. And when my daughter, she moved down this way, well, I'm gonna have him be an ambidextrous, whatever you want to call it, ambidextrous.
playing.
Throw with both hands, baseball, pitching.
Yep. Keep on
You're gonna be
playing,
a chip off the
man.
old block like me.
Yeah, yeah. They have nothing but a curveball, huh?
No, I didn't have this curveball. Hold up, Gregory. I had a slider, a curveball, a fastball, and a circle changeup. So let's don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Okay. All
Don't
right,
get
all
it
right.
twisted. The curveball might have been the one that I could run back, walk to the dugout back when I threw it on you, but I could throw that 85-mile-an-hour fastball.
I know
And
the curveball made the Jerry curl bounce
But,
back
yeah,
in
the
the day. That's all.
curveball, yeah, the curl, you know, that and the slider, both of them made the Jerry curl bounce when I could just, you know.
All right. You know what I mean? I always love it. I love it when we get down, man. That's been another great episode for this week. And let's everybody sign off. You know what I mean?
Well, it's Raider Mike, your boy, just saying, all you young black men, all you my black people, get your kids into baseball too. I ain't saying they got to go pro at it, but we just need to start getting active and start just teaching them the game of baseball and getting them playing. That's all I got to say. Love, like I said, like, share, subscribe, but y'all need to invest in these kids. If you want to bring it back.
This is Big Shan, man. Game recognized game, man. Understand what it is for what you want it to be, man. You can't make no changes if you don't understand what's going on. So like, share, and subscribe. GLX Sports. Thank y'all for tuning in.
And it's your boy, the Young Architect. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'll catch y'all next week.
Absolutely, man. It's always a pleasure, brothers, rapping and tapping with you on a sports tip. Only thing you got to do, hey, we make the world go round. Understand that you are a conduit. If you are a conduit, that means you make it go. So understand that you are the battery, you are the starter, you're the igniter. So knowing that, it ain't nothing you can do. You can't do, especially sports. Because when we get in it, we take it over. It don't matter.
Love it. Words of wisdom all across the board. Once again, to reiterate what everyone else said, appreciate you guys' time. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Join us again next week. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I mean? Let's grow this thing. Till then, peace, 2 fingers.